Hi there, thanks for joining us for today's video. Please make sure that you click subscribe to keep up to date with all of our content. This will include short how-to videos, webinars and demonstrations of all of our products. Check out the links in the description below to check out any content related to today's video, and we hope that you enjoy it. So for those of you that haven't met me already, my name's Alice and I'm the training manager here at Toby Dynavox UK. And today we are going to be looking at DIY literacy resources within Boardmaker 7. So I'm going to show you how to create some of your own resources that you can use to support your learners. Oops. Come here. So we know that comprehensive literacy instruction encompasses a little bit of everything all of the time. So a little bit of everything always. So this might be alphabet and phonological awareness and opportunities for shared, guided and independent reading, also opportunities for shared and independent writing, but also we want to kind of learn a little bit about what our learners or whoever we're supporting have understood in what they are reading and writing about. But I've also kind of put communication in there because many of us are supporting people that have got difficulty communicating what they know or what they have learned. So communication and AAC plays a really big part in this. So what I'm going to do today, oops. Sorry, I'm a little bit of a glip there with my PowerPoint. So what I want to do today is to show you some different examples of how Boardmaker 7 can kind of help you to create this kind of, or to support this kind of instruction within your setting. So we're going to have a look at different activities that can kind of hit each of these kind of components of that comprehensive instruction that we're looking for. So that little bit of everything all the time. So we've got loads and loads of templates that you can use to create activities. And we're going to explore some of those today. There's lots, so we won't have time to go through all of them, but I'm going to hopefully show you a little bit of sample. And this is going to help you to create your own resources on any topic that you might want to talk about, so match what you're doing in the classroom, but also at any level. So it might be that kind of non-reader exploratory stage, so that it's still at that kind of play-based, all the way up to somebody that's maybe on the road to that more conventional literacy. So just to kind of give you a little bit of an introduction, there are 3 different components to Boardmaker 7. So we've got this editor, which is where we're going to be creating our activities, and we can also actually play our activities directly from there. So if I'm a teacher and I've got a computer connected to my interactive whiteboard, I can actually just play those activities straight out of the editor. But let's say I maybe want my students to play their activities individually on their own devices. What we will then do is you would need to go to the My Boardmaker, which is the kind of website component of Boardmaker 7. And that's where you can actually create a student account, assign some specific work to them, and then that student will play that via the free app, which is a student center, and they can access that on their own devices. So whether it's that you want somebody to use their access method on their, say, an eye gaze device, or maybe you want somebody to be able to access it on the iPad at home. And we're not going to have any time today to go into that kind of student centre aspect of it, but we did do a session, I think, last week on the student centre. So we will link you into that webinar if you want to find out a little bit more about that. So today what we're going to do is we're going to focus more on the editor. So we're going to focus on the creating of activities. So the Boardmaker 7 editor is available on Windows, Mac and Chromebook. And we've got over 150 interactive templates that we're going to kind of focus on today. And these are pre-programmed templates that have basically done all of the kind of fancy programming for you. And all you need to do is to kind of input your content specific to what you want to learn about. So we can kind of personalize the content and the media that we put in there. So whether we use symbols or pictures, we can make it accessible. So we can make sure that our students can access it no matter whether they're using touch, a mouse, switch or eye gaze. And we can also create stuff from scratch if we want to. So as I said, we've got over 150 interactive templates within Boardmaker 7, and we've actually got a really neat interactive template guide, and we will give you the link to that. Debbie will put it in the chat for you, and we'll put it in the follow-up as well. This guide will basically talk you through each of the templates. It will give you a little thumbnail of what that template looks like, a description of it, and then some implementation ideas. And what I've done today is just given you listed some examples of some of the templates that I think would work really well when supporting literacy. So we've got things like stamping, classroom routines, games, word study, writing activities. So I'd highly recommend taking a look at the template guide and really going through and trying to pick out the different templates that you think would suit the needs of your students. Most of the interactive templates that we've got available have a counterpart that's actually just a printed version of that. And so if you did want to just create an activity that was print-based as opposed to interactive, so something that your student can complete paper-based as opposed to on a screen, then it is worth looking at some of the print templates. The skill set for creating and editing is much the same as the interactive template. So what you've learned today, you'll be able to implement on the kind of printed side as well. There are two different types of templates, and I'm going to show you both of those today. So the majority of the templates are what we call edit and place templates, which is kind of exactly what it says. It's a kind of fill and go. So you'll have a template available to you, and you just need to fill in the bits that kind of personalize the content. So nice and easy, really quick to use. And the other type is a table-based template. So this just provides another kind of level of editing to it, basically. So it provides a little bit more detail that you can put in. The important thing with this is the user experience for both templates is exactly the same. It's just as the editor, it will look slightly different when you open it up. And I'll show you that as we go into the demo. The other great thing about the interactive activities is that we can make some changes within the activity settings, which provide a kind of deeper level of editing, which allows you to change kind of some of the features within that activity specifically. So we can do things like look at supported mode, which kind of refers to how much feedback or support that a student gets at the activity. We can look at things like auditory feedback, what kind of auditory feedback we want to give, or if we want to give any at all. We can do things like give audio and visual rewards, and we can set things for like what types of symbols we want to use in there as well. So just kind of goes a little bit deeper into kind of personalizing it and making it more specific for the student that you are working with. So that takes me into the demo section. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to open up the Boardmaker editor, and I'm going to take you through creating some of these activities, which is what we're all here for. So once I've opened up my editor and I've logged in, I will be taken to my dashboard. So on my dashboard, here on the left-hand side, I've got a couple of different options. The first thing that I'll open up to is the recent activities that I've opened. So let's say I was working on this book yesterday and I wanted to carry on with it today. That will be my most recent activity. Rather than having to search for it, I can just come in, find that, and open it up. If I go to my Boardmaker, it will show me all of the activities that I've created, and it will give me access to those. So whether I want to go in and change some of them or have a look through, they will all be available there. And then what we're going to do now is we're going to click on New, and we're going to actually create something. So we're going to select the New button there, and this is going to open up the template picker. So this is basically going to allow you to choose your template for getting started. So I could create something from blank if I wanted to. If you want to find out a little bit more about that, you can look at some of our previous sessions and talk a bit more about creating stuff. from blank. Again, it'll show me my most recently used template. So if there's one that I use a lot of, rather than having to search it, I can just come and find it here. And then I get to choose between printable and interactive. So I want to look specifically interactive templates today. So I'm going to click on there. So what you'll notice here is what we've done is we've tried to categorize some of the templates so that you can basically helps you find them a little bit quicker, because there's over 150. If you know the name of it or one of the words, you can search for it here, or we can just explore by categories. So you can see we've got lots of different categories here. I can scroll down and find lots. I'm going to start off with creating a book. So I'm going to click on books and presentations, and here it's going to filter to all the ones that are available. And you'll notice that basically all of these are the same kind of template, but with slight variants. So there's one here for picture only, you've got text above, text below, recordable books, and I can scroll down and find lots of different kind of variants of those kind of books. So I'm going to choose text above, and that's what I'm going to use today. So I can select that template and hit create down at the bottom. And now it's going to open up that template for me. So this is that example of that edit in place, that kind of fill and go, where all the formatting is done. I'm just going to go page by page and make it my own. So you'll notice on the left-hand side that we've got this pages panel that basically just shows me all the different pages that I've got in this book, ready to edit and to change. And then in the center here is going to be my main content. So here I've got the first page. And the great thing about the templates here is everything's pre-programmed. So we've got these buttons that kind of carry out actions. Now they've already been programmed. I don't have to worry about any of that. All I need to do is to kind of add my content into here. So let's say that in my classroom, we've been looking at word endings. So we've been looking at those rhymes. And we've been focusing on the OW ending. So I'm going to create a book that's going to give me lots of opportunities to look at, read, and practice those words. So let's do how now, round, cow. So what you'll notice is there's some little bits of red writing, and those are literally your instructions. So it's going to tell you how to fill in that template. So these instructions will only appear when you're in edit mode. Once you go into play mode, they won't be available anymore. So you don't need to worry about getting rid of them, and they will just disappear once you go into play mode. So it's saying type in my title here, and then under there it says place a symbol or a picture below. So I'm going to go for count. So simply just going to select the box, type what I'm looking for, hit enter, and I'm just going to go for this symbol of a cow. Of course, I could choose something from my media or do a web search, click select, and this button is already pre-programmed just to show the picture only, and it's not going to have a label on there. So I don't need to worry about kind of changing any of that. So then I'm going to go on to my next page and just the same. So I'm going to start with my first sentence. So first one's going to be how is the cow? And again, I'm going to come in, search for my picture. So, excuse me. A couple of things I want to point out about the symbol search. Just beneath here, you can see that I can kind of filter how I want that word to kind of be searched for. At the moment, it's searching for the word how anywhere in a word. And you can see I've got 350 results. And if I scroll through, I've got phrases, I've got all sorts. I might want to change it to beginning with. So if I just wanted to search actually for words that have that OW ending, I could put that OW in, ends with, and now it's going to show me lots of words that have got that word ending in it. But I'm, for now, going to search for how, but I want it anywhere, sorry, whole word only. And I'm going to choose, let's go for this symbol. So that's my first page done. And then now I'm going to go for my second page. So let's do the cow had a row. So this time, in my picture, I'm going to put a cow in there. So I'm going to find my symbol of a cow. Let's use this one. But I actually want this to depict cows having a row, and we don't have a picture for that. So I'm going to create my own. So I've got my symbol of a cow, but I want to put another cow in there. So there's more than one cow having a row. So I'm going to come over to the right-hand side where I've got this properties panel and just click on symbols. And here I can search for cow again. And I can find another cow. And I can just click and drag him into this picture. And when I let go, it's going to say, do you want to replace that cow or add? And I want to add it in. So now you can see it's kind of resized them a little bit. So what I want to do is I'm just going to play around with the size and the placement of these cows so that I get it just right. I'm going to make this one a bit bigger. I'm going to put them in front of each other so it looks like they're having a row. And then I want something to depict that they're having a row. So again, I'm going to use another symbol search. Now, I know that we don't have a symbol for row, but I do know of a really great symbol. So I'm going to search for that. It's under swear. Don't worry, I'm not going to include any swear words here. But I know that we've got a great speech bubble here that looks a bit like they're going to have a row. So I'm going to click and drag that in, add it to. And again, that's just going to format that so that there's no symbol on there. But now I can see that I've kind of created my picture a little bit more to make it look exactly how I want it to. So I can then carry on and add more pages to it. But what I want to do now is just show you what that looks like. So let's say I've edited all my pages and I either want to just check out how it works, or I actually want to use this on my interactive whiteboard. I can straight from the editor just hit play at the top here. And it's now just going to open this up in play mode. So now we can see that there's that book that I created. We've got some buttons up here at the top where I want to read it.
How now, brown cow?
I've actually got this set to eye gaze. So this is going to be nice and accessible for my students that are using eye gaze. They can come in, they can read it. They can even, they can turn the pages themselves. And what I want to point out here is we've got this talk about button. So remember we talked about the importance of communication through all of this because we know that they both work, literacy and communication works kind of hand in hand. And we know that reading books provides a great opportunity for that. So what we've got here is some kind of set phrases that are kind of quick fires around reading. So things like turn the page, read to me, this is funny. And so we've got some really nice phrases that we can kind of...
What does that mean?
As we're kind of reading that book together. But what we might want instead is that, let's just pop this up again, there is another option that instead of those phrases, we can actually get it to auto-generate symbols that relate to the words that I've put in there. So I'll have a symbol for cow and the. So what I want to do is to show you a little bit about how we can change that, but also maybe we want to just change some of the phrases that are on here. So I'm going to just stop at the top and go back into edit mode. And on my pages panel here, I'm going to scroll all the way down to the bottom. And you'll see that I've got a menus tab down here. And if I open that up, this is where you'll see those pop-ups for communication. So if I click on this phrase-based one, I can come in and change some of these phrases. So since we're working on those word endings, I might want to have things like, so sounds, difference. And I can look for a different symbol and maybe have sounds the same. So if we want to kind of really pay attention to some of those sounds that we've really been working on, we can make comments on, does that sound the same as that word or is it a different one? The other thing that I mentioned is that we can instead have this kind of auto-generate some symbols. I'm going to show you how to do that instead. We are going to come up to the top left-hand corner at the very top of the editor, and where I've got that little kind of 3-line symbol. And I'm going to go into activity settings. And this is where I can kind of do a little bit more editing about kind of what the activity does and how it looks and how it behaves. So here you'll see kind of a table of different contents. The first column will tell you kind of what the action is, what you can do with it, and then it'll give you a bit of a description. And if I scroll down here, we've got the pop-up option, which is currently set on that communication board. Now, if I click on the little edit button there and drop down, I can change it to auto-generate symbols. I can also do things like change the text color. So maybe if I'm working with somebody that's visually impaired, I maybe want that text to be yellow. I can save that, and I might want it to be on a black background. So I can change that there. Definitely worth kind of having a look at some of the kind of changes that you can make in here. So now if I save that and play it, I'll show you what that looks like now. So that's changed kind of to that high contrast for me. And if I come into here, we've now got those symbols that kind of relate to that page. Not speaking now for some reason. So hopefully that's kind of showed you a little bit about how that works. Now, of course, we may have made a really great interactive book, and we might actually just want to have a printed version of that as well. Now, of course, we can create something with a printed template, but I might just want to print this off as it is. So what I can do is go up to the Create PDF, and here I'm going to save it as a PDF, and then I can print it directly from there. Now, I just want to talk about a couple of other kind of options for printing and kind of data collection more so. So now I've created this activity, I'm just going to return to dashboard. I'm not going to save that for now, but I would save it if it's something that you know, I really like. I just want to show you another activity that I kind of made earlier. So this is a word making activity with the OW ending. And I created this earlier, and I want to use this with my students straight away. Now I don't have to open that up in the editor to get it playing straight away. What I can do is if I hover over, is I can just click on play directly, and it's going to open that up. So here we've got an example of a spelling activity where I'm going to come and spell some words.
O. No. W.
And then it's going to give me a symbol, and you can see up here it started to make a list of the different words that I've made. I can clear those letters and start again. I can say, let's do a different one. Oops.
L.
That's the right one.
O. Low.
And again, it's
W.
With a symbol.
No.
Yeah, you've got that right. Now, there are some really great features within the interactive activities that allow us to track kind of progress and data. So it will tell me things like, you know, how long they spent on an activity, what things they got right versus what they got wrong. But in some cases, I might just want to go a bit old school and have as a record of achievement, just want to print off this as a worksheet. So we might do the spelling activity, and we might have listed 10, 20 words that we've made. I could just come in here and print this directly, put it into their work folder, maybe even send it home to mum and dad to show them some of the work that they've been doing. So that I can just go ahead and print directly. So just another kind of way of looking at it, and another option really. So the next thing that I want to do is show you another template. This time we're going to look at that table based. So I'm going to come back into interactive activities. This time I'm going to come down to word study. And I'm going to do CBC word scramble. This is the one I want to do. So again, I'm going to select that and hit enter. Now this time you'll notice that rather than opening up into that kind of edit in place mode, we're going to now get that activity setting table, which is going to ask us to kind of fill in the content that we want to help us create this activity. So here we go. So same as the kind of activity settings before, you'll have the kind of name on here, the value, what you can change around it, and then the description. So here it's saying, enter your list of words here, only enter 3-letter CBC words, because that's what we're working on, but you can have up to 20 of them. So I'm going to come in here into edit, and I'm going to start filling in the words that I want my student to spell. So I'm going to fill in the word, and then I'm going to choose my picture for it. That's fine. So this one will do. And I'm just going to fill in a couple just so that we get the idea. So word, then choose my picture. I'm just going to use symbols here. And one more. Vet. Here we are. Dog and a cat. And of course, I can carry on going if I've got more words that I want to put in. I'll just do 3 for now. And then I can kind of continue to look at some of these settings as well. So I can turn off supported mode. So I can say, you know, do I want to provide my student with more or less support? Do I want them to come in random order? Maybe I do want them in a specific order, so I could change that. So a few different things that I can do here. I'm just going to save that and then play it and show you what that looks like. So again,
spell the word wet.
So it's going to read out, spell the word wet. I've got a symbol here to help prompt me so that I know what that word is. If I need a bit of support, I can click on sound out the
wet.
word. So I can come in here now and start spelling my word.
T.
I can check that. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Right, let's check the answer.
You spelled the word wet. Spell the word pet.
Move on to the next one and I'll show you what happens.
T. P. E.
So right, I'm going to check
pet.
this. What does it sound like? Versus mine. Oh no, that's not right. Okay, let's go back and start again. So just a really lovely, simple spelling activity.
You spelled the word pet.
So
spell the word vet.
I'm just gonna come out of here and just show you, go back into the activity settings. So again, top corner up here, activity settings, and show you what it looks like with a couple of things changed. So there was a supported mode that I could turn off. There was an option where I could provide the word there so that my student maybe could copy it. So if they were a little bit more emergent and they needed a bit more support, I could provide them with that. So let's go here. So I'm going to turn this off. So we've not got supported mode, but I am going to get them to show us the words. So let's try that and see what that looks like now.
Spell the word pet.
So now you can see that I've got this option here.
P. E. T. Spell the word wet.
And you'll notice that I don't have that option to check it now. So whereas before I did, that was like that kind of supported mode that would let me go back and change it. It's not letting me do that now. So maybe if I'm doing more of an assessment, and I don't want to have that supported mode on there. So those are just a couple of the templates. I wish I could go through more. If you did want to kind of go through more, please do get in touch and with myself or your local account manager, and we'd love to do a kind of more in-depth, longer session with you.